What's going on, guys? My name is Arjun Rai, and in today's video we are going to be looking at this study: is eating late bad for fat loss? It was done in 2022 by Ruddick-Collins, so it's quite a new study. There have been earlier studies done on this topic, and they did seem to point to that people that ate later in the day would be likely to gain more weight. However, these studies did have limitations. Two of them were done in 2013. They come up with the same conclusion, that people that generally ate late would gain more weight, but they weren't that tightly controlled, and those studies did have their limitation. So in this 2022 study, the aim was to see how the timing of meals affected weight loss. So whether you ate your food earlier during the day or did you have a bigger meal later in the day, would that change things? And there were 30 participants, 50 years old. There were 16 males, 14 females, and they all were either overweight or obese. So they had a BMI ranging between 27 and 42. 30 participants were split up into two groups. So it was a morning load group and an evening load group. So the morning load would have their 45% of their calories at breakfast, 35% at lunch, and then 20% at dinner. The evening load would reverse, so 20% of their calories at breakfast, 35% at lunch, and then their dinner would contain 45% of their total calories. They were both on 1700 calories a day, with a macronutrient breakdown of 30% protein, 35% carbs, and 35% fats. Now, their measurements were also taken before the study. Body composition was taken. They were also measured the energy expenditure, blood pressure, waist and hip circumference, with a few other measurements taken as well. After 4 weeks, they were all retested with these measurements, and they had a 1 week period where they went back to maintenance calories, a washout week, and then both groups swapped over. So the morning guys followed the evening diet, vice versa. Then at the end of those 4 weeks, they got tested again. What were the findings? Both groups experienced significant weight loss. They both lost over 3 kilos of body weight. They both lost a similar amount of body fat, and they both lost a similar amount of measurements from their waist and their hips. So very, very similar for both groups. Weight trends were nearly identical. There was no differences in any metabolism related outcomes, so the energy expenditure, etc. was not different. Even their daily steps, their sleep, there was no difference. So what this really told us, there wasn't any difference whether the group ate later, their calories later, or if they ate their calories earlier in the day. So this means that you can kind of set your day up to what suits you when it comes to how many calories you want to eat and when you want to eat them. But the thing they did find, the group that would have most of their calories in the evening, so the evening group, did report higher hunger levels during the day. Now, what that could lead to is that could lead to overeating, because if you are feeling more hungry in the daytime, you may, snack a bit more, and you might do these things, especially if you're not watching your calories. If you're watching your calories and you're controlling your calories, it doesn't make a difference. But if you are someone that tends to get quite hungry throughout the day, it might be wise to actually eat more of your calories earlier in the day and allocate less for later on. It comes down to your personal preference. Someone like me, I like to eat a big dinner. I like to go to sleep feeling quite full. And then, the next day I can wake up, have a bit of breakfast, light lunch, big dinner. It is good news because it comes more down to preference. It doesn't really make a difference. So do what suits you best.